The gilded gates of Windsor have finally swung shut for the last time on a man who was once the pride of the British Empire. This isn't just a story about a royal moving house. It's about the systematic deletion of a prince from the pages of modern history. Today, the man formerly known as His Royal Highness Prince Andrew is a man without a title, without a role, and as of 2026, without his palace. For years, the Royal Lodge at Windsor was Andrew's fortress, a 30-room mansion that stood as a symbol of his status as Queen Elizabeth's favourite son. He clung to it with a desperation that bordered on the delusional, even as the world around him burned with the shame of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. But the siege of Royal Lodge has ended. King Charles III, acting more like a cold-blooded CEO than a brother, has officially evicted Andrew. The ex-prince has been moved to Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate, a modest 5-bedroom farmhouse. To understand the weight of this move, you have to understand the geography of royal power. Royal Lodge was a statement of proximity to the late Queen. Wood Farm is a statement of exile. While Wood Farm is historically significant, it was the sanctuary where Prince Philip spent his quiet final years. It is fundamentally a retirement home for those the firm wants to keep out of sight and out of mind. How did it come to this? It wasn't just a simple request to move. It was a financial execution. King Charles didn't just ask his brother to leave, he made it impossible for him to stay. By cutting off Andrew's 10 to 12 crore annual allowance and crucially refusing to pay for his multi-million-pound private security detail, Charles left Andrew with a choice: move out or go bankrupt. There are also reports that the king refused to fund the necessary 10-year renovation plan for the lodge, which is estimated to cost millions. Without the king's checkbook, the roof was quite literally falling in on Andrew's royal lifestyle. But the real drama isn't just about real estate, it's about the ghost that continues to haunt the House of Windsor, Jeffrey Epstein. As we move through 2026, the release of newly unsealed files from the US Department of Justice has reignited a fire that the palace hoped was extinguished. These documents contain fresh details, new testimonies, and uncomfortable questions about Andrew's time spent at Epstein's various properties. We are now seeing the second wave of the Epstein fallout. New reports suggest that the FBI has been quietly looking into the source of funds used for Andrew's multi-million-dollar out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre back in 2022. Questions are being asked: did the money come from the late Queen's private estate, or were there other wealthy benefactors involved? In the transparent world of 2026, these financial secrets are becoming impossible to hide. The public demand in the United States for Andrew to sit in a witness chair and testify is no longer a whisper, it's a roar. Legal experts and victims' advocates are making it clear: the royal shield is gone. By stripping Andrew of his final military titles, including his beloved Colonel of the Grenadier Guards, and forbidding the use of his Royal Highness style, King Charles has sent a silent message to the US Department of Justice. That message is: he is a private citizen. If a subpoena arrives today, the palace will likely offer no diplomatic immunity. Inside the palace walls, the tension is even higher. Sources suggest that Prince William has been the strongest advocate for this total erasure. William reportedly views his uncle as a direct threat to the future of the monarchy. He doesn't want his own children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, to grow up in the shadow of a scandal-ridden uncle. William's vision for the crown is a moral reset, and that reset requires Andrew to be completely removed from the public consciousness. This is the slimmed-down monarchy in its most ruthless form. Charles is looking at the long game. He is effectively turning Andrew into a ghost prince, someone who exists in the family tree but has no presence in the family's future. No more balcony appearances, no more Remembrance Day wreaths, no more royal ascot processions. Even his birthdays are now ignored by official royal social media accounts. The fall of Andrew is a Shakespearean tragedy for the modern age. It's a story of a man who thought he was untouchable because of the blood in his veins, only to realize that even a king's brother can be discarded when he becomes a liability. As Andrew sits in the quiet halls of Wood Farm, watching the world move on without him, he is left with the one thing he always tried to avoid: the truth. History will remember Andrew not as the Falklands War hero he once was, but as the prince who lost everything because he chose the wrong friends and stayed in the wrong house for far too long. The crown has moved on. The king has spoken. And for Andrew, the long, cold winter of his legacy has officially begun. What do you think? Is King Charles being a responsible leader by protecting the monarchy, or is he being a cold-hearted brother for throwing Andrew to the wolves? The era of the untouchable royal is over, and Andrew is the first casualty of this new, unforgiving age.